looking house you've ever seen?
The most?
Yeah.
I would say the most. How old you're with me?
They're all like 30. There's a giant cat poster behind you.
It feels like it has definitely a college feel to it.
Right? Like, look at these chairs. Are they from the 80s?
I love the laundry is hung up there.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, they need a house mom to tell them that it looks ridiculous in here.
It's fine.
They're never going to find respectable women.
That's why they end up with people like you.
It's the joke. If this is what their place looks like. Confidants, welcome back to another episode of Confidently Insecure.
Do you sing every time?
No, that was special just for you because it's Friday. And because I'm not in my normal location, so I feel a little insecure and out of place and worried.
You do?
Yeah, this is my boyfriend's house in case you're confused why this looks different, listeners. And today's special.
Why aren't we at your place?
Wow, I was introducing you. We're not at my place because my roommate's bathroom sprung a leak and it started leaking through our roof. You're checking yourself out in the camera.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with yourself?
Yeah, it's fine.
How do you rate yourself today, Nick Viall?
Passable?
Do you do this every morning?
Get a halo light out?
Get a good hard look at yourself in your front-facing camera?
I have mirrors.
What are those?
On my wall.
What are they?
My closet door is all mirrors, so I have a wall that's all mirrors.
But what do they do?
Well, what I'm saying is when I wake up in the morning, that first look at yourself is kind of, it's a sigh
You
of
do
like
not have a
disappointment.
moment in the morning.
Yeah, when I wake up.
I don't believe you. Here's my first question. I'm going way off script here. When did
Do you have
know?
a script?
Well, I have like an outline of questions.
Wow.
What? Listeners wrote in to ask you things.
All right, I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
When did you know you were better looking than the average person?
It's a great question.
Because I have friends that are hot that are like, oh my God, stop. Like, I'm like, no, this is a legitimate question. You obviously walk around the world differently than other people.
I like this question. You wouldn't know this because I don't think you.
Because I'm ugly? That's fully what was coming out of your mouth.
No, it wasn't. But I love how
Full
sometimes
of
I take
insult.
I take a long way to answer simple questions, and
then
along the way, I really make you unsure if I'm gonna like throw a dagger your way.
I would not be surprised at all if you threw a dagger my way. That's
I was
you,
about to say
dog.
you don't watch The Bachelor.
No.
And for those of you who did, there's been a lot of opinions about my appearance.
Oh.
I'm commonly have known to have an extraordinary glow up throughout my time.
Oh,
on the
you were
show.
an ugly kid?
No.
Oh, you were like an ugly adult. I'm gonna Google Nick.
My first photo. They notoriously take bad photos. And so
in case you're wondering, this is Nick Viall. He was The Bachelor.
I had a really bad photo, my first photo, and then I think if anything, the first time I went on the show, I guess of all my life, that was maybe my ugly phase.
That's your ugly face?
No.
Oh.
No, that's my Bachelor photo.
What photo are you talking about?
It's here, I'll show you.
Do you keep these in your camera roll?
No, but I did a
Oh, I just got a glimpse at your Instagram DMs.
this photo.
Let me see. Oh, no.
Should I like my caption?
No. When you hit rock bottom, just remember things can always get better. Nick.
That's just me with
Don't try and take it back.
a bad haircut and no tan. And a really particularly shitty photo.
Did you get a forehead shortening surgery?
No.
Why does your forehead look so big?
Again, it's just a bad photo. Also, I think my hair's pulled back there. My hair's like maybe slightly forward the other photo. I don't know.
Jesus. That's fucked up. How old were you in that one?
31? 32? 33? It's also a really bad photo.
That's for me.
So to answer your question, so when I first went on the show, there was a lot of opinions. But my whole life, and I grew up in Milwaukee, so it's not necessarily like, models walking everywhere. But
you got treated differently.
as long as I can remember.
Wow.
Since I was 4.
Jesus.
5. I've always...
They were calling you a sexy baby?
My only thought... I don't ever remember a time when I haven't been complimented about my appearance.
Does that make you feel good or bad?
Doesn't make me think anything. I will say it's affected my life in that regard.
In what regard?
There was
Things come easier for you. You're also, I think, my first straight guest.
There was a time
Male
in my
guest.
I panicked when I turned 25.
That's not true. You're the third. You panicked when you turned 25. Why?
I just well, I mean, I was getting out of a relationship, and I had a lot of great expectations for myself early in life, and then I think a lot of people panic at some point in their 20s. And I remember saying to my parents, and I kind of feel stupid for admitting this, but I remember saying something to my parents of the effect that, I was worried about getting older, and what if I lose all my hair? I was just like panicking. I turned 25, and what if I gain weight, or I just like whatever? And I just remember saying something to my parents were like, I only know how to be good looking. And I felt really ashamed of having, and that wasn't really true. It wasn't like I wasn't like some dumb person or whatever. Like I just getting complimented was
the fear of not having that
baseline. That baseline of like being used to being complimented.
But what happened when you were 31?
33? That's just a really bad pick. Nothing. That's what I'm saying. There was never a time in life that nothing. It's just a bad photo.
It is interesting to me because I think like a lot of people who are like societally beautiful have a hard time admitting that they're societally beautiful, but like then they go home and they're like, I'm so glad I don't look like the other people. But I feel like you've done a good.
I've never had that
you're
thought.
You're not an elitist in your looks, but I think you know that you're lucky. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Also, you're dangerously close to floating out of frame.
Oh, sorry.
Look at you. We're doing a very casual sit on this Friday.
But going on TV for the first time in my life was an interesting experience because I didn't get the reaction I was so used to.
People were mad you were so ugly?
They were criticized. It was
the first time you've been criticized for your looks.
Yeah, it was wild.
And you come from a large family.
Mm-hmm.
I just Googled, wait, what? How many people are in your family?
I have 11 siblings.
All biological?
I have 10 siblings. Sorry.
All biological?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nick, and you're the oldest?
Second oldest.
What?
So like here's a picture of me relative to the same time period of the other photo.
Oh,
I'm making a weird face, but it's not like...
Yeah, they really fucked you on the contrast of that photo.
It was just terrible.
And that background was not your color.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just all these... Yeah, so that's relatively the same time. Where else?
I want to know a little bit more about... Stop talking about how good looking you are. We've passed that part of the podcast.
I'm giving you reference.
You want me to put all these photos, insert all these pictures here?
You led with that question.
I know. I didn't mean to.
And I gave you an honest response.
Okay, let me start where I was going to start. This is Nick. He was the Bachelor, but I know him because we were in acting class together.
Are you going somewhere?
Oh, no. I'm still in acting class with Nick. And my first question is, do you think I'm a good actor?
The little bit I know, I think you're as good as I.
You did that thing that you just did where you waited too long. The second thing I want to do that I know you're not a fan of, but I don't care, is I want to ask you, like, don't look. I want to go through and do like a power round of questions to get shit out of the way that a bunch of people asked when I said you were coming on the podcast, because I just want to get them out of the way. Right. And your theory on this is you would not do this right up top. You were like, you should save this so people listen. And I was like, no, I just want to get all the Bachelor-y stuff out of the way so you don't have to talk about it. But also give people what they want.
It's your show.
Wow, that's the nicest thing you've said to me in our 7-day friendship now.
I'm ready. Do you think I'm a dick?
No. Okay. I've told you I don't think you're a dick. I just think you're...
I think you're comfortable with me.
Yeah, totally. I'd take my shoes off in front of you. But it's cold in here, so I'm keeping them on. Okay. What shoes are those that you're showing off?
They're new.
Yeah.
Plug here. They were a gift.
They're not sponsoring this podcast.
They're not.
How dare you?
They were a gift.
Say the name.
Please. I have a heart. They're really great. They're Italian.
Please sponsor the podcast if you want a free promo.
How do I? Koyo.
You're gonna get dragged for saying that incorrectly.
Koolo. They're
Colo.
awesome. They're awesome. And no, it's not pronounced that way.
Okay.
Koyo.
Sure. Good for you.
They're great.
They're leather.
They're upscale tennis shoes.
Can I tell you something? I don't know that I like men that are obsessed with sneakers, like sneakerheads, but I think men that have good sneaker fashion is a huge turn on.
And that's how I would describe myself.
Oh.
In the sense that, like, a sneakerhead, no. I don't wait in line. I think it's weird to be obsessed with them. But, like, I take
pride. And some men, my boyfriend wears fucking slides in public with his toes out.
You can ruin an outfit with a bad shoe choice, bad sneaker choice, and an incorrectly colored belt.
But the belt thing I don't subscribe to.
I prefer to wear pants that fit me that don't require a belt.
Do you have a belt on right now?
I don't.
Whip your dick out. Oh, he does not.
I only wear belts with dress pants.
And
if I have to wear a belt with jeans,
fashion corner.
if I have to wear a belt with jeans, they don't fit.
Okay. Can I ask you Bachelor questions now?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. These are the most. Hey, Gazzo.
That's not the boyfriend.
That's not the boyfriend. That's the roommate.
Great.
This is Nick. Oh, did you have a Halloween party here last night? Okay, because it's a mess. Oh yeah, your episode's coming out on the weekend of Thanksgiving, but I want to know very quickly what you did for Halloween.
I went to a party. I went to 2 parties.
Wow, bragging. What parties? Are you friends with a lot of celebrities?
No, but I did go to Demi Lovato's party, and then I went to...
She's a bisexual. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I went to... Last night, I went to kind of a celebrity... It's what the guy, he actually went to the same high school as my father.
Oh, that's
the basketball fan with the fashion guy, the big house. It was at some...
Dennis Rodman.
He's an older guy, big enough.
Dennis Rodman?
Like old. I went to a Halloween party last night and it was...
What were you?
I was a teddy bear.
Did you get laid?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
Who's that cutie?
My friend.
Oh, okay. Bachelor questions I want to get out of the way. Here we go. Was it real?
Yes.
Were you really in love?
Yes.
Are you still friends with your ex?
No.
Did you get paid?
To be the Bachelor, yes.
Do you get annoyed when people ask how much sex you have?
Yes.
Do you think you're the best?
That's one of the most annoying questions.
Oh, we hit a
guys who come up to me and ask me how much I've gotten laid as a result of the show.
What do you say?
I'm kind of a dick.
So what do you say?
If you were a guy,
yo, bro, dude, how much pussy do you get now because of the show? You're slowly turning away from me.
That's what I do.
Ooh, bro, what, you think you're better than me? Do people try and fight you a lot?
No.
I feel like people try and fight any reality star a lot because they think
that's more of a Midwest thing. More guys try to fight me.
You're from the Midwest.
I know. When I was in my 20s, that would hapen more often. Not in LA. It doesn't happen in LA.
No one fights in LA.
But I mean,
they fight with their words.
I sound like a real elitist now. But back to your original question of did I think if there is a downside to being thought of as an attractive male, guys from the Midwest will try to pick fights with you.
We'll try and fucking fight. And I'm glad you say that because you know that that's a shitty thing to say because so many people are going to be like, fuck you. There's not a single bad thing about being
I'm not complaining, but that,
no, I know,
that
but you're smart enough
that
to know.
would happen on a somewhat regular basis.
Just because?
I mean, I never asked. Is it because
but maybe
I'm
it's
better
because
looking than you?
You had a shitty personality.
No.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't know these guys. I wouldn't have any interaction with them.
And then they just try and fight you?
They were. And it usually is because I was like hanging out with women and think they were interested in.
Are you tall?
Yes.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay, so that could also be because I feel like that happens to Jared. He's 6'4", and people kind of look to him and be like, the biggest guy's gonna fight me, and he's the opposite.
I had a guy tackle me out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah.
Did you sue?
No, my friend just, I don't know, did something
Was
wrong.
this in L.A.?
No, this was years ago. 21,
pre-batch.
22, yeah.
Do you call your life PB and post B?
I don't.
But other people do. Does your family keep you humble?
Yeah.
Okay, that's coming later. Let me finish these questions. Do you think you're the best looking bachelor?
No.
Who do you think is? No, I'm not going to know who any of these people are, but I know who Ben Higgins is because once my friend was obsessed with him, and we were at dinner and we saw him, and she made me take a picture with him because she was nervous to ask.
Was she pleasant? Did he live up to her expectations?
Yes.
He's a very handsome guy. For example, very attractive guy. We have a very different look, a very different vibe. It really just depends on what you're into.
So who do you think is the hottest? If you had to suck a bachelor guy's dick, which one would it be?
I don't know. I think they're all relatively. I think it's very much preference. I think, Ben, Chris, Colton's a really great looking guy. Different vibe. He goes off a different. Also, I think I think your TV presence and your real life presence are very different things.
Me?
Well, I'm
people.
sorry. People in general, and especially bachelor men.
You know what's crazy? The longer I hang out with you, the more normal you look.
Normal I look.
Yeah, like how often do you get to see someone's pores? Like I can see your pores right now. And it makes you feel very normal.
This makes me disappointed because I feel like that's a nice way of saying when you first met me.
I thought you were attractive and now I don't.
And now, yeah.
No, I think society thinks.
It's just more like, yeah, he's just a guy. Which is true.
Isn't that just what you want people to think about you? You don't want people to think you're special.
I mean, I want to, no. I recognize that I don't, but that's not true.
Okay.
I do want people to think I'm special.
Also, I've been meaning to ask you
honest.
this. No, of course, I'm a Leo. You could not relate more. But have you had sinus issues?
Yes.
What are you doing about it?
I don't anymore.
I know.
My nasally?
You do this. Oh, wait, I can't even do it.
I do that.
I can't make it click the way yours does.
I used to have I had a deviated septum. I breathe through my mouth. I'm a mouth breather.
But that's okay, but it's clicky the way you do it.
Well, I had surgery on my deviated septum and not a nose job. I mean, an actual. And
I love that you have to clarify.
And
it's the most LA things you've done right now.
I was 22 in the Midwest, and I ran track, and it was a breathing problem. And I had large adenoids taken out, and I had sinus infections as a kid all the time. So I probably still do it because I literally breathe when I was a child.
I've only noticed that because I had childhood asthma too. Do you watch The Bachelor?
Yeah, I do now.
Is it part of like staying up with the cultural zeitgeist?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I talk a little bit about it on my podcast,
which is
the Viall Files, but I'll be separating it in a separate podcast coming in January.
Oh my god!
More information to come on that.
That's kind of a big.
So I keep
deal.
up. I keep up. I keep.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a way work for sure.
Yeah.
If I don't watch a lot of reality TV, and I will say when I watch it, I do enjoy it, but I definitely would not watch. I wouldn't watch it just because I don't watch reality TV. If I didn't have to speak to it as often as I do, and it's obviously I don't have to, but I make money from it.
There you go. What do your parents think
of
The Bachelor?
I think they're more or less indifferent.
Do they watch it now?
I don't think so. No, I think they never really did. They're,
Name all your siblings in order from best to worst.
They're all amazing.
Lies. You have a favorite.
I can give you the order. No, I'm probably closest with my sister Maria. She's the one right after me.
Name them all.
But I have different relationships.
Name them all from oldest to youngest.
Jessica Maria. I'm skipping me.
Okay.
Jessica Maria, Sarah, Sam, Jacob, Luke, James, Teresa, Olivia, Bella.
I'm gonna guess your parents are religious.
Yeah, I grew up very Catholic.
Those were a lot of Bible names.
Yep, all biblical.
Except for the end, they got cool with Olivia and Bella.
But Isabella is still. You could still.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Olivia's hot though. Olivia's gonna be hot.
Is that Olivia's a lesbian?
Oh.
And just fun fact, doesn't mean she's not hot, but she's.
I actually thought the opposite. I thought you were like, and she's a lesbian.
And she's a lesbian.
And she's a hot lesbian.
I find her to be beautiful. I don't know.
With a name like Olivia and you're a lesbian, see ya fucking later. Hey, Olivia, my Instagram is at kelsey darragh.
A little young for you.
Well, you don't know my type. How
18?
young? Okay. Well, 18. No, I can't. I'm too
I'd
old.
rather you not.
Okay. So speaking of your family, this is coming out around Thanksgiving, and I want to know about any Thanksgiving traditions you have. Do you go home for Thanksgivs?
I have strong opinions on Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, I'm glad I fucking asked.
My Thanksgiving tradition is to do the least amount of Thanksgiving things.
What?
I love Thanksgiving is a celebration of going to see my family. I do go
White
home.
people murdering Indians.
I do go home to visit my family on Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is kind of back to back, and maybe I go home one other time of the year. But for me, I hate the winter, but it is kind of charming to go home for a few days and sport some winter wear.
Oh.
For the gram.
Okay.
It's nice that way.
Get some seasonal.
I like football. I like watching football. I think a Thanksgiving meal is stupid. It's overrated. It doesn't taste very good.
Whoa.
And I'm really and my family is slowly become this. It's my mom's birthday Thanksgiving this year, and selfishly, and I appreciate my mom saying I don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. I want it to be about me. And I think that's really healthy for my mom to be selfish. We're going to make pizza. Homemade pizza. It's really great. We're going to have pizza on Thanksgiving. Pizza and wine. And why do you have to eat fucking turkey? It's a peasant food. Sorry, I sound like an elitist there. It's not that, and I like a good turkey sandwich, but not as like a meal.
It's dry.
It's not a particularly tasty meat. Why can't you have
taste like anything.
Barbecue ribs? Why can't you have pizza? Why can't you have?
But I
and
see
we
what
do.
you mean.
And it's just like
but you're telling me you don't think fucking mashed potatoes with fucking butter and salt?
Sure, with steak or a better tasting, like a good rotisserie chicken or something. Or something. Why does it have to be? And I'm not a big cranberry fan.
Oh,
I don't
my
like
God.
stuffing.
I was just about to go there.
I don't like stuffing.
Are you you're not a cranberry fan in any form?
Like, I tolerate Thanksgiving meal.
Do you do it for the fam, though? Like, that's where you go back? You do it for the fam and the gram?
No, I mean, I enjoy going to see my friends and family back home. And that's why I go.
But you don't have any traditions, huh?
Our tradition is to hang out. We don't like...
Does everyone go back?
Everyone generally lives there, but now that people are married in my family and kids, there might be some... I actually quite looking forward to this because I do have 10 siblings, but I'm a bit of an only child. This probably does not surprise you.
Guessed.
And it's my understanding that many of my siblings will be spending Thanksgiving with their significant other's family. And I think it's just going to be pretty much me and my parents and a few other of the younger ones just having pizza and watching football, which sounds
amazing.
Great.
Do you watch the dog show?
No. But I do like, one of my favorite movies is Best in Show, so I will...
What's your favorite breed? Do you want to hear a crazy story that happened yesterday? This is my podcast. I'm going to tell you anyways. So you know how I fostered a cat? And you're thrilled about it because you love cats?
Okay.
But by the way, I fostered a cat. His name is Spooky, and he's upstairs. And if you want him...
Do you have to give it back at some point?
No, you keep him until you help adopt him out. Okay, confidants, before I go into this story, I want to give a couple of warnings and a little bit of context. So, trigger warning, this deals with a little bit of gore, and if you're sensitive to that, just go ahead and skip through the next couple of minutes. That being said, B, I know that I'm kind of laughing throughout this story, mostly because I'm so incredibly nervous and uncomfortable. And we really don't know yet what has happened to Jax. And spoiler alert, you'll get there soon, find out who Jax is. And C, I have been in close contact with the shelter since this story has happened. And I'm hoping to do an entire YouTube video on the process to help with the volunteers' medical bills. So all that being said, I just want to let you know before you listen to the story, that's what you're going to hear, but keep all of that in mind. Okay. Love you. Kisses, smooches.
Okay.
We went to the shelter and we were planning on fostering this German Shepherd because my favorite breed is a German Shepherd.
It's a good dog.
But the one we wanted got adopted. Yay!
So we
were like, oh, let's just check out the 2 older ones. One's a 7-year-old, one's a 6-year-old. We're like, let's see the 7-year-old. He's been here longer. Let's take him out for a walk. So this gorgeous, hot, young, very kind volunteer comes and gets the dog out. And
Man or woman?
Woman, and is like talking about how she's done rescues all of her life and she's got 6 dogs. She has a husky. She loves German Shepherds. We play with him. His name was Jax for like 30 minutes, but he sheds really bad. And so I was like,
German Shepherds do.
Yeah, but he was like extra. And so I was like, okay, let's put him back and just like maybe play with the 6-year-old and see what happens. Well, as she's putting the fucking 7-year-old sweet German Shepherd back, he turns around and grabs her hand and almost bites her whole fucking hand off. And so they're screaming 911. They're radioing in. The dog catcher comes in with the little loopy thingy, takes the dog away. The girl's hand is literally falling off the bone. She fucking puts it in the air.
Wait, it's like there's blood everywhere.
Everywhere.
He was gnawing on it.
She literally like walked with the dog because she was afraid to like take her hand out because it might rip her hand off.
That dog's not with us anymore.
And then
He's definitely not with us anymore.
She puts her hands up and all these, like, they have a veterinary there.
They put that pup down right quick.
No. So there's a medical team there, right? Because it's an animal shelter. And so the medical team, like, leaps into action.
They also put dogs to sleep there.
Oh, my God. They shut down the entire shelter. They kick us out, but we stayed because we had to give a statement to the police. They call the EMT. They whisk her away. And I feel like it's my fault.
Why?
Because if I wouldn't have wanted to see Jax would still be alive.
Do you think it was your energy that set the dog off?
Kelly would still have a hand.
How good looking is she?
She's very good looking.
Still?
I don't know. Like, luckily it was only her hand, right?
Yeah, but what?
I don't know. And I'm going back on Saturday because I need an update.
Well, the dog's not with us anymore. That much we know for sure.
Because it's 7, right? They were like, fuck this.
Regardless, this is a place that,
they rotate.
What happens when they don't foster out pups? Do they have a time limit before they just put the dog down?
Surprisingly, I think they're like kind of a quick turnaround. Maybe it's because they're killing them all.
I'm just saying that when a dog attacked a person's hand.
A volunteer of all people.
And a volunteer out of nowhere, they're really gonna like ship that dog out somewhere else?
And the dog had been there like a year. It's gone, right?
Gone.
But I feel like that's my fault.
Probably.
Oh my God, Nick, this was not how the story wanted to go.
I wasn't gonna say it's your fault, but I want you to feel vulnerable the rest of the way.
I'm a vulnerable being in general. How dare you?
I don't really think it's your fault, but
okay, that makes me feel a little better. It might be.
Could be.
I'm gonna give you guys an update when I figure out how Kelly's doing. Maybe I can get her to come on the podcast. Okay, I don't want to talk about dogs or Thanksgiving anymore. I want to talk about natural habits.
Really?
I do.
Great.
Because we have a lot of people who identify as women that listen to this podcast.
Sounds like an ad.
And it's not. This is your company. You founded and CEO it. Yeah. Natural Habits is a essential oils company.
Yes.
Which I find very fascinating. That was something that I thought was very interesting about you right off the bat. Because you don't come across as a foo-foo woo-woo person.
I'm not.
Why are you passionate about essential oils then? You're a dude, first of all. I'm just saying stereotypical things. You're a dude, first of all. You're not like a wellness guru, second of all. Why essential oils? Why do you care about them?
The long answer to this question.
Oh, great.
I'm not a horoscope person.
I am.
I know.
He's a Libra, in case you guys are wondering.
But the little bit I do know about horoscopes is that we do like balance. And while I am not correctly, as you say, woo-woo, hippie-jippy, whatever you want to, like the person you might think would be into aromatherapy, I do believe in as much as possible taking care of yourself in non-traditional, non-kind of Western ways of taking care of yourself. As a society, we've become too dependent on pills, medication, and even if it's just like ibuprofen, even if it's this, melatonin is considered a natural. Yeah, but like it's addictive, and your body, if you take too many melatonin pills, your body will then produce less melatonin naturally, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can find less invasive and healthier forms of treating, all life and taking care of yourself, I'm a big subscriber in that. My sister is a holistic nutritionist.
Does she live in LA?
She does not. She lives in Milwaukee. So she's a board certified nutritionist, and she specializes in obviously dietary habits. And so she turned me on to essential oils way back when. I struggle with anxiety. I get headaches sometimes, but mostly anxiety, and I never wanted to medicate. So I was just looking for different ways to help with anxiety.
How does your anxiety manifest itself?
All sorts of ways. I don't know.
Mental, physical, emotional?
Mostly mental.
I thought you just meant mostly, like all of it.
All of it. Not physical. Physical helps me deal with anxiety. Physical activity. So I tried it, and again, quite honestly, when Maria mentioned essential oils, I thought of it mostly as a snake oil, kind of a bullshit. But I was like, a lot of people do. Well, like, fuck it, I'll try it. What do I have to lose? And it quite helped me. Yeah. Again, even if it's just from an aromatherapy standpoint, sometimes I have a hard time in general being present. And the act of smelling, you asked me about meditating earlier in the day. I don't meditate, but like momentary kind of meditation of just taking a breath, breathing in. When you smell essential oil, that would help. And then, for example, like lavender, actually does helps calm and things like that. So I got much better sleep with it. It helped with my anxiety. And so it was great. So I got more and more into it as a user.
And when your sister got you into it, was this something she was making, or was she outsourcing from a good brand? Or was she just like, pick up some lavender oil?
Yeah, it was more like she had used them, but she wasn't like in any way, she wasn't involved. She wasn't involved. She wasn't working with the multi-level marketing companies that kind of got the essential oil industry going, but also kind of give it a kind of bad connotation and kind of attachment to multi-level marketing. But to that point, as I started using essential oils, two things I noticed were, one, it was dominated by the multi-level marketing industry, which there's a lot of things we don't subscribe to, and then one thing my teacher, both. She's obviously big in knowing what you put in and on your body. Your skin is your largest organ, and so I found it fascinating that something that we would breathe into our bodies or apply directly on our skin, it was surprisingly hard to find companies that were certified USDA organic. Now, if you know anything about essential oils, you will know that every company will call themselves 100% pure or even 100% organic, and there's these labels like therapeutic grade. Any company can call themselves organic. You can say verified organic, and it can be verified by their neighbor. Therapeutic grade is made up. It's a made up designation. It'd be like if I called Natural Habits feel good grade. I don't know. They made it up and some friend verified it, or some doctor, or maybe some healthcare professional. I don't doubt it. What it is not is verified by a third party with a set of standards and qualifications that met to. And again, it's not like, I'm sure these companies have their guidelines, and I'm not saying they don't have good oils. It's just, I don't know what they're saying. No one's verified it.
Right.
I'm taking their
putting something else on your skin. They could be selling
the point is, I'm taking their word for it, not to call them liars, but like when you're taking the word of people who are, trying to make money, it's harder to do. I mean, we try to make money too at Natural Habits, but at the same time, you don't have to take my word for it.
You can take the fucking government.
Isn't that what the USDA is? Yes, I mean there's other. Yes.
So how does one get USDA approved with oils?
It's a whole process, but the big thing is obviously you have no additives and preservatives or alcohols when you're growing it. There's no alcohol in, like, a lot of essential oils. Be careful; they'll put like fragrances in it because they want to smell longer and have a certain tone. But you can use essential oils as a way to use a perfume or a cologne, I guess, but it's meant to absorb directly into your body. It should absorb quickly. And so the smell's not gonna last like a perfume or a cologne because there's no chemicals or alcohols to make it last. It's gonna absorb into your body. You will want to keep applying it. Some will put it in there, and so so that's depending on the oils. When you're growing the plants that go into essential oils, there's no pesticides, there's no runoff into.
And you were telling me you
It's a whole
grow
process.
all your shit like all over the world, right?
Well, we source from farms from all over the world.
That's pretty cool because I feel like when you were talking earlier about I don't know, it sounds like you don't trust a lot of westernized medicine. And
no, it's not that. It's just kind of where we can source it and the quality of the farms that we source it from.
When I think of essential oils, I think of like yoga bitches who stole Eastern culture and like you're sourcing straight from that rather than like repurposing it as like a white people thing and selling it to white girls at yoga studios.
Yeah, I have nothing against white people. I would buy from a farm, but the relationships we have, it seems to be the highest quality there. But if we found one in the States, I wouldn't be adverse to doing it.
Sure. Does it save you money if you do it in the States?
For sure. It would potentially. I mean, yes and no. There's so many variables there. But again, that process is pretty involved. And
so when you were like, okay, this company became after post B life. Post
Bachelor. Yeah. So when as far as how it got started, so there was that, and then as a user, quite honestly, there's so much. It can be confusing. You get essential oil blends. What do you blend? Lavender, peppermint, wintergreen, certain combinations have different medicinal and therapeutic benefits. And so I spent a little time getting to know what I try to work for me, but it was like time consuming and annoying, and I just wouldn't waste time on doing it. So my goal of essential oils with Natural Habits is to make essential oil use like more mainstream and easy and common. Like, do you have a headache? Great. Use Center. It's a combination of essential oils. So
I had a headache, and you brought me some, and in 10 to 15 minutes, my tension headache was gone.
Boom. So yeah, there's different things you can do in different blends, and we only have blends right now. And
why?
Because for that, we have, again, we have Rise, Protect, Center, Release. Rise for kind of waking up, fresh, mental stimulation. Yeah. Center for headaches, Protect for immune boosting. And Release calming anxiety, because for our point, it's just like that's Protect.
Oh, I like Christmas.
Because like for those 4 use cases and those various smells are kind of like what we got, what came with the name is kind of Natural Habits. Is like those 4 things you use on a daily basis will kind of improve your overall wellness. So those are kind of the reasons why people use essential oils. It's a combination of a bunch of different oils, but for 4 specific use cases, and we kind of feel like for the most part that's kind of takes care of it for a while. We're developing them some more blends, but that was what we started with. And so we have them in a roll-on form, and we have them in a pure essential oil. If you have other roll-ons from other essential oil companies, always be mindful of the carrier oils that they use.
What the fuck is that?
Well, carrier oils are like how you would dilute it, because a pure essential oil you can put on your skin, but they're very strong and potent.
That's why some of them are like, do not use on your skin, and other ones are roll-ons.
Well, no essential oil, you should be mindful if you have skin sensitivity, because if you put too much, it will burn your skin. Especially people with sensitive skin. The average person usually won't react to it, but you very much can. They're so strong, you don't need them to be that potent. So you can dilute them with a carrier oil. So it spreads it. You get a longer use out of them. You obviously don't want to do it with water, but you want to have an oil that is the most natural and has really all it really does is diluting the oil so that you can get more of the effects of it. We use only jojoba oil, which is actually quite good for your skin.
Jojoba oil.
It's quite good for your skin. It hydrates your skin. A lot of companies will use, they don't use jojoba oil, but some of them do. But then they'll also add almond oil or castor oil, which, I mean, for a variety of reasons we don't like them. Almond oil will have an almond smell, will it change the properties of the oil. It's cheaper to use, but 30% of the population is allergic to nuts.
30%?
Yeah, some kind of nut.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they have some sort of intolerance to a nut allergy. It's something quite that. I mean, don't freaking quote me on that.
Very, very quick story about castor oil. My cousin, who was 16 and pregnant in Florida, was trying to induce labor because
you told me about
and she drank castrol motor oil instead of castor mineral oil.
That's not good. Castor oil, good for your hair and good for maybe having a baby, but literally does nothing for an essential use application. What it does is dilute the properties of the essential oil, so you do want to be careful of that. So that kind of will cheapen the oil.
Do when women come to your house, do they just fucking rip their panties off because of the smell? Do they just come in and go I didn't expect this from you, and then their underwear comes off?
Basically, no. I mean, I don't.
Because I feel I really am curious about also marketing for you. I mean, you're in this digital age. You have this huge following. You have this wellness brand. Your audience is mainly women. I have to assume the majority use of essential oils users are young women that probably watch your show. Like, when
it works out.
When you're like coming up with something you're clearly passionate about that's like a health and wellness brand, how do you have people take you seriously when you're supposed to just be a hot piece of meat?
Well, that was something I was mindful of when I started Natural Habits. So
your face isn't on it anywhere.
I don't.
No one would know.
I don't. Like on Natural Habits, I strategically, from a marketing standpoint, obviously, if you go listen to my podcast and you follow me on Instagram, you know about Natural Habits.
It's everywhere.
But if you happen to come across Natural Habits,
where's it sold?
On our website and on Amazon right now.
Ooh.
And we in a few boutiques around the
I was
country.
gonna say, you probably have all over Venice or something.
Yeah, we're growing our wholesale
Wait, you
side
gotta
of
get that
things.
shit in like Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Is Whole Foods hard to get a hold of?
Well, they're owned by Amazon, and so it's a whole thing. But
it's a Whole Foods thing.
Yeah, that.
Thanks.
What I did know when I started the company, because I was mindful of that, I was like, what the fuck is Nick going to know about essential oils? Well, what I do know is...
He's asking himself questions now.
Well, it was more like what I know enough that I can have oils that are USDA organic certified. And while we're certainly not the only company that does, or many are not, especially a lot of the leading brands are not. And they'll all have the reasons of why they're not. I'm generally of the belief in life, and especially in the essential oil industry,
which are crossing over deeply here.
If you would.
Yes.
If you could.
You would.
You would.
If you can't, you won't.
You won't. And so, yeah, I know enough about that.
Yeah.
And then from a market, obviously my sister's a part of the company. I brought her in. She gives us a lot of credibility in that sense. With her being a woman, her being a mom, and her being an expert in the wellness and healthcare space and holistic space. So
certified and all that.
She offers a level of credibility there. And I think the way we market it too is we don't pretend that essential oils is a cure-all.
No, but I do like that you have a focus on like anxiety and pain and
in a way that also it helps it. It's a way. It's a one more thing you can do.
Right.
Anxiety. If you struggle with anxiety, essential oils isn't going to save you. But essential oils will help. So will working out and eating right and drinking less coffee and drinking more water.
You drink so much coffee.
I know. It's part of the problem. But what I'm saying is, and so it's really helpful. So like if you struggle with headaches, taking essential oils might be a way to reduce how much ibuprofen you take.
My dad used to give me 6 ibuprofen after a soccer game when I was 8 years old.
Not great.
Is shot.
So there again, that's why I think that also, if nothing else,
they smell good.
Your indoor air.
Oh, tell us about candles, Nick.
They'll kill you.
Tell them about what you told me about candles.
Candles will kill you. Canary in a coal mine. Canary in a coal mine.
Tell the people what the fuck that reference was.
It's a common reference. It's got its start back in the
1820s.
More like that. Yeah.
First
when miners were mining coal, they would bring little canaries in cages because birds in general have sensitive respiratory systems.
Obviously, they didn't care about them back then.
Well, they valued the birds' lives slightly more than their own.
And slightly less than poor Jack's.
And they would do that because if a canary or the bird in the cage would die from air ventilation,
Who's checking on the bird?
They would know to leave said cage. Well,
so they had to have a full-time bird watcher.
The idea is like the bird's going to die before the human. If you put a bird too close to a burning candle, it will die.
Because it's just filling up your home.
Candles are full of toxins and carcinogens.
Will you
words that I can't pronounce, and so you set it on fire and you're burning it into the air. You don't notice it because it's in such small doses.
Yeah.
And, over time, the idea is, and I have
light your entire apartment with candles.
I have candles in my in my condo, and it's
he's got a condo, ladies. It's not just an apartment.
And yeah, I have them, but again, like also, Febreze, plugins.
God damn it, that's my entire apartment, dude.
That is all just toxic chemicals. So if nothing else,
we're all gonna get cancer anyway from everything.
Diffuse essential oils, and it'll smell great, and it will have some medicinal benefits. And what it won't do
is kill you. But I had a lot of people DM me when I was showing off your EOs.
I might know this question
about
pets.
cats, specifically cats.
There's a lot of questions about the safety of essential oils with dogs and cats.
Why do so many people know this?
Here's what
I did not.
I actually think it's a bit overblown. Listen, pets like birds and animals have, especially dogs, for example, and cats, have a much higher sense of smell.
Yeah.
And are sensitive, obviously, to that. So essential oils, aromatherapy, strong senses of smell. You don't want to apply essential oils directly onto your pets.
Ever.
I mean, I know people who have and said it's benefited them, but I certainly don't recommend it. I'll say if you do, that's the thing. I don't think your dog's going to immediately die. Yeah. It's not like chocolate. But we don't recommend it. Mm-hmm. Don't put it on directly on. If you're going to diffuse an essential oil, just like you would candles or Febreze air freshener, if you're going to have a highly scented room, you should never like lock your dog into a small bathroom with a candle or Febreze. They will get sick very fast because they have same thing with essential oils. Like, so keep it away from your dog.
And babies?
Oh, again,
for babies.
We always on the safety side check with your healthcare professionals.
Because I noticed Kylie was showing off her Kylie skin the other day, and her baby got a hold of it, and the baby was putting it all over her skin. She was like, "Don't do that. This isn't made for babies."
Again, we're very careful about obviously check with your. My sister uses on her baby, and certainly any child 2 or older. You want to put, if you're going to rub it directly on their skin, the balls of their feet. They have for babies. Well, children have sensitive skin, but their balls of feet have thicker skin, so you're going to get the same benefits by applying the oils. And you always certainly want to do it with a carrier oil. But certainly, diffusing an essential oil in a baby's bedroom is totally fine.
Yeah.
And again, you never want to have too much. If you're diffusing it and the whole room is just that's too much for anyone.
Say the Christmas tree one again, because that's my favorite.
It's a Protect blend.
Get the Protect blend. What's your price range?
For which one?
I don't know. Just give me a range of your products.
Well, they're real simple. Our pure essential oil blends are 50 milliliters or $40 a bottle. Certainly not cheap.
But USD organic.
Only that, they're 15 milliliters, and they will last you a long time.
Who knew I was doing such a good giveaway when I?
It was a $40. If you use the 40 milliliter and you diffuse it twice a day, it'll last you well over a month.
Yeah.
And if you use it like twice a day.
Yeah.
How many? Think about how many candles that would be.
Yeah.
And how much are candles?
Expensive. Well. It depends.
Even cheap candles.
There's like $190 candle that was.
But if you bought if you burned a candle twice a day for 4 hours a piece,
it would be gone in like a day.
Yeah. So that's how many candles?
A lot.
That's a $10 candle.
That's up $400.
So how many Febreze bottles would you use? A
lot.
So it's not. It's
that's
very
a good point,
cost efficient. That way.
Okay. So that's.
And our roll-on bottles are 33 a piece, or the bundle you can get all four for 88.
Oh wow!
Should I give your audience a promo code?
You said a promo code earlier. It was open.
When is this coming out?
The week of Thanksgiving.
Oh my God! As we do Thanksgiving specials.
Okay.
Is it coming out when?
The week of Thanksgiving.
The week.
Maybe sooner. No, I think.
Is it coming out on a Thursday?
Yep.
So it comes out on Thanksgiving?
No. It might come out on the 21st. It depends if I can fix the audio on this Mystic that It'll either come out on the 21st or the 28th.
That's a huge. The 20th is Thanksgiving.
The 28th is Thanksgiving.
If you just drop it on the 28th.
Maybe. Okay, fine. Just give us a code, Nicholas.
What code do you want?
Name?
Joseph. What code do you want?
Fucking Bible. I think open, because that was the one you were going to use for yours. Use code open for what?
30% off.
Whoa!
Huge.
30%?
Free shipping.
You're basically giving it away.
That's true.
Do you do international shipping?
We do.
And Amazon. That's a big deal.
We do not ship for free internationally, but we do ship for free domestically.
I have anxiety merch that is in the bio below, and we cut our international shipping prices, so get them while it's hot. Okay.
What else?
This is the final segment. Your podcast, the Viall Files, is all about giving advice and about love, dating, and sex, correct?
Not all about, but it is a strong...
Mostly, Nick.
Our Mondays episodes are that, yes.
Okay, so I got 2, 4, 6, 8 questions that I want you to be able to solve their problem. Give them your Nick Viall advice in one sentence.
That's more of a questions with Nick, but sure.
Okay,
That's my Instagram Sunday weekly segment.
What the fuck? Pluggity plug. Don't knock the camera.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Okay, this is to end the whole podcast.
All right,
so
gotta finish strong.
Okay. Okay, ready? Victoria wants to know, what's the right time to date someone? One sentence.
When's the right time to date someone?
Yes.
Whenever you want.
That's a question, not a statement.
Whenever you want.
There you go.
There's whenever you're ready.
That's 2 sentences.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you want, whenever you're ready.
Okay, this is a one sentence. Rosie wants to know, I want to marry my boyfriend and we have a kid together and have been together for 4 years. What do I do?
Can you read it again?
I want to marry my boyfriend. We have a kid together and have been together 4 years. What do I do?
I have to do this in one sentence?
One sentence. That's the fun of it.
Something different.
Damn, Rose. Think on that one.
I don't know what that is, but I only had one sentence.
I like that. Nicole Miller wants to know, am I supposed to forgive and forget when my man cheats and move? Wait, am I supposed to forgive and forget and just move on when a man cheats?
No. You're certainly not supposed to.
Oh. Okay, I'll allow no, comma, you're certainly not supposed to, italices.
Yeah.
2. Okay, another Nicole.
It's also not recommended, but you can.
That's fucking 2 sentences, Nick.
That wasn't my answer. That was just more like in case you're still listening.
Play the game. Another Nicole wants to know, why do men cheat? Which I feel like is sexist, but I'll let you
This is not an answer to the question, but this is a statement saying people cheat.
Inclusive.
Boredom.
Ooh.
If I have one, people cheat because they're bored.
Wow. Okay, Aaron wants to know, how do you flirt with someone when you don't speak the same language? That's a fun one.
Do they mean literally?
Yes, like if you...
I mean, let's in LA, you can be like, we don't speak the same language. Like, God. I'm a Libra and he's a Gemini.
You're
like,
so mad that I'm constantly calling you out as your
But you get what I'm saying?
You're
like,
fucking Libra. Okay?
I think literal is
a prototype of a Libra.
I think that question was valid.
Okay, fair. But the question was literally, you don't speak the same language. So
with your body.
Ooh, I was going to say like emojis. Emojis are universal.
I tell you what, when I'm flirting, I am speaking, but the flirting is not coming from my words. It's coming from my body language and inflections and yeah.
Your eyeballs. I feel like eyes are very telling.
My eyes.
Not looking at you, they're not interested in you.
Yeah.
Right?
For the most part, not necessarily, but yes.
I feel like the same thing with body language. Like if I'm not opening up to you, then it's...
Well, I don't think that's an immediate reaction, but in that moment, they're certainly not trying to flirt. Yeah.
Feel that. Okay, Kaylin wants to know, what is your love advice for the only single friend in a friend group who's all dating each other? Sounds messy. I like it.
What's my love advice for that person?
Yeah, give them some self-love.
Stop comparing yourself to your friends.
Boom. That was actually good. That was probably your best answer. Cassandra wants to know how to get past your ex's getting a new girlfriend.
Say that one more time.
How to get past your ex getting a new girlfriend. Don't look at her Instagram. That's my one sentence advice.
I'm trying. Yeah, that would definitely be advice I would give, but I only have one sentence.
One sentence, so choose wisely.
Read it again.
How to get past your ex getting a new girlfriend. Wow, he's really thinking about this, you guys.
Be excited. It's now her problem.
Oh, that's good. Way to spin it. You do give good advice.
Oh.
Last one to end all, be all. Moxie, which is the name of my parents' dog, wants to know how to have more patience with a depressed partner who doesn't want to seek treatment. Wow, we went.
How to have more patience with a depressed partner
who doesn't want to seek treatment. Ooh.
I only have one sentence, but I'm going to use it by saying, I don't think patience is your problem.
Ooh, Nick Viall. That was really good. I went from being like this impressed with you to like this impressed with you, but just with that closing game.
And that means a lot only because I know it pains you to give me compliments.
To give you no, I'm full of compliments. My confidants know that. Nick Viall, please plug your podcast so everyone can go get more love advice, because you can even write in as a listener and get personal advice from the beauty himself.
We'll Skype with you.
Oh my God, they will Skype with you.
Yeah, check us out on Viall Files.
Viall Files.
Anywhere you can find a podcast.
And follow you on Instagram at Nick Viall.
Yeah.
And
NHOils.com for natural habits. NHOils.com. Follow us on Natural Habits on Instagram.
And use the code OPEN for 30% off.
It makes an amazing gift. The bundle is a 4-pack. It's a perfect stocking
for
stuffer.
$88.
Well, not if you use promo code OPEN.
You're going to get it for like $60.
And honestly, those roll-ons will last you or a loved one forever.
And don't sell yourself short as a stocking stuffer, bitch. If I buy you $60 oils, you're getting wrapped with a fucking bow, and that is your one gift.
And our
bitch.
packaging,
it's really great. It's very clean. You're going to feel like you're in LA.
You're gonna feel like
And honestly, I'm not just saying this. I carry it in my backpack and I use it all the time.
Thank you.
End ad. What if this was just a huge ad read this whole entire time? Anyway, so now to the podcast. Just kidding, confidants.
Kelsey is on our podcast.
That's where I was going to say, if you're wondering where the code OPEN comes from, I went on Nick's podcast to talk about being in an open relationship. I know you guys really liked that episode. We had like 160K something views on that one, so go watch more about that.
Don't know when that episode's coming out, but probably sometime after yours, early December.
We do like 7 a week. It's insane.
No.
Yeah.
We do 2.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But probably early December.
Okay, so go subscribe, go listen.
Kelsey will put in her story with a swipe up, I'm sure.
You will definitely see me do that now. Go rate us on iTunes 5 stars. You know I'm sensitive, so don't leave anything less. You can email us.
Question. How do you feel about pandering for stars? I do it all the time.
I ask it every week, but I always say, if you're going to leave me less than 5, please don't do it, because I'm very sensitive. We have 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars.
I don't.
How many do you have?
I have 4.5 because my good friend Demi came on, and it's a whole thing. Bachelor Nation is lovely and opinionated, and they'll get on their like little like
controversial.
They're willing to throw out a once, and we'll ask for reviews. Give Kelsey your stars. She's to be honest, I'm gonna speak for Kelsey. She wants your stars.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care about your reviews.
No, I do. I read them.
Do you?
I do.
Why?
Because I like hearing people compliment me.
Okay, she's not interested in your critical feedback is what I'm trying to say.
That's true. I also get emails from you guys that I read where you guys are correcting me when I say things like, I learned you're not supposed to call countries third world countries. I corrected my saying. I also know that you're not supposed to say people committed suicide. I now know you're supposed to say people died by suicide. I learn.
That's great. But and I'm just saying, like, sometimes when the risk of having a very popular show, which you do, and a lot of listeners, when you ask for people's feedback, there are people who are like, oh my God, I have so much to give. And the truth is, like, when you know, your show's probably good because of who you are and your gut and what you're doing. And then when you start soliciting the opinions of all your listeners, there's probably a bunch of people with a bunch of different opinions, and you'll change one thing, and then, you know, someone will be like, well, why'd you stop doing that? You know, obviously it's good that you're becoming more woke.
Yeah.
You know, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, become more progressive, but like formatting changes.
No, I'm not going to take your advice on that. I'm only going to add things, not take things away. So speaking of 5 stars, I should also do a giveaway for this since you're here, because I have another oil. How about this?
How about they buy it first, and then we'll do another giveaway?
I'm going to do another giveaway.
I find that when you do giveaways, people are like, well, I'll just wait till I win.
I keep giving away our oils until every listener has one. When my episode drops on Nick's podcast, I will do another giveaway with my favorite kind, the Christmas tree one.
I'll give her some more to give more away.
Thanks. And we're going to have people that screenshot and rate Nick's podcast too. We want 5 stars for both of us, and the winners will come from that pool.
You can just rate her star.
We want 5 stars for Nick.
How many ratings do you have?
I think it's K. How many do you have?
10K.
How long have you been doing yours?
It's January.
Wow. I've been doing mine 30 weeks.
30 weeks?
Not even. 26 weeks.
Yeah, a little less than mine.
I go. We have far less listeners.
I pander a lot.
Readers.
I pander a lot.
I apparently don't. Subscribe to this channel. Also, email us at confidentlyinsecurepodcast@gmail.com. We read them all. DM us and follow us at confidentllypod. What, Nick?
It's a great name. I gotta say, your podcast name is.
It's also my T-shirt.
I'm jealous of it.
I'll get you a Confidently Insecure T-shirt because I know you wear it, right?
I came up with the Viall Files. Actually, it wasn't my idea. It was Topher Grace's idea.
So you are friends with a lot of celebrities.
And his wife. Well, he's friends with Sam. You know Sam.
Yes.
And then
they're neighbors.
I think it was Topher and his wife Ashley, and like Sam kind of played a part in it. And people like the name. It's just no one can say my last name. And then like, do your listeners, do they have like code names for themselves?
Confidants.
See, that's what I'm missing. It's hard. It's harder to come up. And people have suggested filers. Well, you know what that kind of sounds like
pedophiler.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because it's.
No one wants to go around wearing a T-shirt saying I'm a
filer.
A filer.
Guys, if you want Confidants merch, I can think of some fun things. I'm definitely thinking about making something soon. I'm tapping it against my microphone. So stay tuned. Link in bio. Nick, thanks so much for coming on. I'll see you in class on Wednesday.
Thanks for having me.